Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer show, episode 177, and today I'm going to review Sonic 4 episode 1. So, let's get started. Okay, that's my camera setup, so let's start this review. Now, Sonic 4 episode 1 is a very good WiiWare game, although it's not as good as I hoped it would be. And I hope to explain why I think this in my review. The story of the game is pretty simple. Dr. Robotnik has kidnapped all the animals and Sonic the Hedgehog has to get them back. Very, very simple, just like in the Mega Drive days. The graphics of the game look pretty good. They've got kind of a 3D next gen sort of cell shading look to them, and I think they're really, really good. So I just boot my game up and I can talk about controls and stuff. One moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue with the review. Let's pick a level and begin. As you can see, the graphics of this game are really, really good. They look kind of cel shaded and kind of cartoony, and I think they fit Sonic pretty well. And there's also got some nice 3D effects. Right, 2 button jumps, down and 2, spin dash, move, D-pad, keep moving and hold diagonally, you can do a roll, 2, press jump, then press jump again to a home attack. 1 does nothing, but if you collect 50 rings with all 7K symbols and press 1 mile in the air, you can turn into Supersonic. So the controls for the game are very good. For the Wii version, there were some motion controls put in, but personally, I try and stay away from motion controls when I'm playing Sonic games. In Secret Rings, it worked okay once you got used to it. In Black Knight, it worked somewhat better. But in this game, the motion controls, I didn't even bother because they're just not needed for this sort of game. All the motion controls were for was to tilt the special stage. Anyway, let's go Supersonic. When you're in Supersonic mode, you are invincible. Nothing can kill you. Apart from instant death pits and stuff like that. Music for this game. The music for this game is also very good. It's got a nice range of tracks. And it's very Genesis-like. So I definitely like the music. Gameplay of this game. This is a speedy platformer. It's a very good speedy platformer, although it can be a little bit short. You get 4 worlds, 3 acts per world, and 1 boss per world, and also the final boss. So you get about 12 levels, 4 bosses, and a final boss, which makes a grand total of 5 bosses and 12 levels. And you also get special stage levels. To access the special stage, all you do is, at the end of the level, finish with 50 rings, and then you can grab the giant ring and go for the Chaos Emerald. I will show off a special stage later in the review. Good stuff about this game. Well, the good stuff about this game is the gameplay is very, very good. The levels are very good. Most of them are quite challenging. Splash Hill Zone It's very reminiscent to Green Hill Zone and Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. It feels rather similar to me. Casino Street reminds me a lot of Casino Night Zone and Spring Yard Zone from Sonic 1 and 2. And Lost Labyrinth reminds me a lot of the Labyrinth from Sonic 1. And I think some of the levels in Sonic 2 and 3 as well. So some of the levels have a lot of nostalgic references to previous 2D Sonic games. One set of levels in particular, Mad Gear Zone, is very reminiscent of Scrap Brain Zone and Metropolis Zone. Mad Gear Zone basically feels like a mesh of the two, and it does work pretty well. So all in all, the levels are good, and they got a nice bit of nostalgia to them. Now let's take a look at a boss. Alright, this is the first boss of the game, YouTube. If you play Sonic 1, you'll definitely recognise this guy. It's Dr. Robotnik with his giant ball and chain. He's pretty much the same as before, but he has a few more tricks with his sleeves and a few more moves. But other than that, he's not too difficult. He shouldn't cause you that many problems. The bosses in the game, some of them are hard, some of them are easy. Once you learn their patterns and learn what they're like, it's pretty easy to defeat them. Well, that didn't take very long. Come on, Dr. Robotnik, step it up! Throughout the game, you do get several items. You get rings, invincibility TVs, which are quite scarce in this game, lives, and all that classic sort of Sonic stuff. There's also the shield as well, which can protect you from one hit, which is quite useful if you want to get those Chaos Emerald stages open. Lives are pretty easy to come by in this game, a lot easier than they were in the older Genesis game, so the game is slightly easy because of that. Okay, let's look at the other modes this game has to offer before I go on special stages. The game has normal mode. There's also a time attack mode, so you can see if you get the best time. There's an option mode, so you can turn the motion controls on and off, change the settings, change your username, and sort your profiles out and look at the credits. And there's also online leaderboards. The online leaderboards, I hardly ever use them, but they're a nice little extra, so you can raise people's times and see how well your friends are doing online. But personally, I don't bother about online leaderboards, and they don't really affect me in the slightest. Now let's take a look at the special stages. The special stages themselves are quite difficult. They're very reminiscent of the special stages in Sonic 1. But they've been slightly changed. Instead of controlling Sonic with the arrows, you have to tilt the stage as if you're rolling a marble round a maze. Press the 2 button, you can shake it so that Sonic can bounce off a wall and stop himself from getting stuck. Whilst you're in these stages, you may have to complete certain objectives in order to get your Chaos Emerald, like collect rings, obviously keep your eye on the clock so you can get through the stage. Some special stages are easy, some special stages are hard. The final special stage took me ages to do, so all in all, special stages were quite challenging. Right, I just found the emerald, and then I'll go to my complaints YouTube, because I haven't really got much more to say about this game. All in all, it's just a really good 2D Sonic game, doing the classic style. I liked all the nostalgic references. They brought back a lot of good Sonic memories. Anyway, on to my complaints. Okay, now the complaints about Sonic 4 Episode 1. I thought Sonic 4 Episode 1 was a very good WiiWare game. It definitely was a lot of fun. My first complaint is that there is no trophy system for the Wii game. This is really stupid because I have seen several WiiWare games have a trophy system. Example, Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, and a few others. So, Sega, I think they were a bit lazy by not putting a trophy system in the Wii version. Because it would have given the game a lot more replay value and a lot more stuff to do. Because I felt the game was kind of short. And it would have been a lot longer if it had this in. Okay, my second complaint. Yes, nostalgia is good, but this game has so many nostalgic references. The game almost feels a little bit too old-fashioned. In this Sonic game, there is nothing you haven't seen before. The new levels feel like... The new levels are pretty good, but they're just very reminiscent of old Sonic games, and I would like to have seen completely new levels instead of levels that reminded me so much of the old Sonic games. Another thing that I didn't like also was all the bosses I've fought before. The bosses themselves have all been in past Sonic games, and most of them are still as easy to beat as they were before, and I would have liked to have seen some new bosses. My third and final complaint, and this is probably the main one, the special stages can be a little bit annoying at times, and sometimes rather difficult. But other than that, Sonic 4 Episode 1 is a good Sonic game. Personally, I hope Episodes 2, 3 and 4 are better than this one, because Sonic 4 Episode 1 is a good game, but at the end of the day, it felt like a bit of a letdown. So I hope Sonic 4 Episode 2, 3 and 4 are better than this one. But Sonic 4 Episode 1 gets a 3 out of 5. My next review YouTube will be Sonic Advance 3 for the Game Boy Advance. But until then, bye!